people are afraid to say when they messed up or afraid of maybe failing at something. But failing is a part of the process. Michael Jordan missed more shots than he made, but he kept shooting.
Okay, so from music exec to streetwear designer and now creative strategy and design advisor for the Bulls, we're thrilled to hear your advice. So the first question, before we break down the hows of how to hold ourselves accountable, I want to ask you, why specifically do you think it is important for you to hold yourself accountable to your goals?
Well, I think in general, accountability is important when we want to pursue our goals, when we want to pursue any project. We have to have some type of measure of how to evaluate our performance. So when we set goals for ourselves, it's good to set barometers and check-in points, if you will, to just be able to measure how good, or not just how good, even how constructive we can look at ourselves and see how we can improve, to pat ourselves on the back if we've accomplished a certain goal. So just accountability, I think, is important in general, and it's something I really encourage young people to embrace.
Who do you think is ultimately responsible for our own success?
Success is based upon the goals you put in front of yourself and how you achieve them. So different people measure success in different ways. So that's why goals are so important, because it sets some type of standard for what you're holding yourself accountable to and for. So I always preach and encourage people to set proper goals for themselves, set short-term goals, set long-term goals, and then hold yourself accountable to those goals. Ask your teammates, say, hey, you know what? I want to be held accountable for this. If you can just help me, give me some constructive criticism on how I'm doing, how I'm performing, and how I can improve.
Yeah. So you feel that feedback is also a contribution with accountability from peers?
Oh, absolutely. You want to welcome feedback. I think in the workplace especially, people are afraid to say when they messed up or afraid of maybe failing at something. But failing is a part of the process. Michael Jordan missed more shots than he made, but he kept shooting. And so that's how he's looked at as being the legend he is today. And we want to look at examples like that of greatness and see how these people always were not afraid to fail. We're all human beings that make mistakes, but what we can expect is for those to learn from their mistakes and improve.
Are you using the Indeed mobile app? The app is free and makes it easy to apply right from your phone. Click the link below or just search Indeed in the App Store.
So if you could just give me an example of one of your small achievable goals at the beginning, before you, like right when you first jumped into the workforce.
Well, I first started in finance here in Chicago. I worked
wow.
I worked at the Chicago Mercantile Exchange. I took the position wanting to learn how to trade. So I worked for a stockbroker, and I was put on coffee duty when I first started. And I remember I was paying my dues making coffee, and I was saying to myself, like, man, I didn't come here to make no coffee, man. But I stuck with it. And so I just want to encourage people, even when we're not doing what we think we should be doing, give it your all. Your attitude really determines your latitude. Like, if you have a good, positive attitude, that principle is going to carry on, and people are going to notice that, and then they're going to give you more responsibilities and more privileges.
Finally, I want to ask you one question. Has there been anything surprisingly helpful for you in holding yourself accountable to your goals over your career?
I think that it has allowed people to respect me in the work marketplace, because they know that I am going to hold myself accountable. People want to work with people they respect.
Absolutely.
And you want to respect others. The feedback that I get is that I try to make the project as fun as possible, as positive as possible, and get the job done. Do the absolute best that I have the ability to do with the resources that I have at hand.